9.70 seconds, one of the most difficult time barriers in all of track and field. In the history of the men's 100 meters, only 3 athletes have ever run faster than this time. First, it was Usain Bolt back in 2008, next it was Tyson Gay in 2009, and then it was Johan Blake from Jamaica in the summer of 2012, running exactly 9.69 seconds. Even for Usain Bolt, the undisputed GOAT of men's sprinting, who eventually ran a world record mark of 9.58, he only ran under 9.70 on 3 individual occasions, which means that if you're looking to run faster than 9.7, you'll practically need a perfect race to achieve this time. It's been a full decade since anyone has run faster than 9.70, with nobody really even getting close. However, building up to this year's World Championships, Fred Kerley has proven that he just might be this athlete, and come the World Finals, he entered as the favorite in the men's 100 meters. With a finishing time of 9.86 seconds, Kerley didn't quite perform at the super elite level that many were expecting. However, he did clutch up and win this world title, just barely edging out his American rival Marvin Bracey, who finished second in 9.88 seconds, and finishing just barely behind Bracey by just 2/1000ths of a second was Trayvon Bromell, who took the bronze medal in this race, completing the American sweep in this 100-meter final. Kerley once again just proved his greatness in the 100-meter dash. But the cool thing about Fred Kerley is that when it comes to his overall racing career, he is just built different, as he's also run under 20 seconds for the 200 and under 44 seconds for the 400 meters. Now, only 2 other athletes have ever achieved the sprinting triple, and they include Michael Norman from the United States and also Wade van Niekerk from South Africa. Typically speaking, if you're able to even make it into this very exclusive list, you will probably have incredible potential in the 200 meters and especially in the 400. But to be able to drop down and dominate the 100 meters like this is just not what's supposed to happen. But this is what makes Fred Kerley such a compelling and well-rounded sprinter. He's able to compete at a world-class level in all 3 of the sprinting events, and his transformation into one of the most versatile athletes in athletics history happened much quicker than many people could have guessed. Even on his current Wikipedia page, it says that Kerley is known primarily for competing in the 400 meters, even though he's already an Olympic medalist in this event, as well as a world champion. Back in 2019, Kerley won the bronze medal in the World Championships in the 400 meters with a very quick time of 44.17, a performance that marked his first ever global medal. Now, for the vast majority of his racing career, Kerley's main focus was the 1-lap distance. In fact, even as a professional, he didn't even race in a competitive 100-meter dash until 2021, and in this very season, he was able to earn the Olympic silver. At 6'3" and just over 200 pounds, Kerley is a very tall and dominant athlete, quite reminiscent to the rather intimidating stature of Usain Bolt, who stood at 6'5 inches. And just like his Jamaican counterpart, Kerley has a racing style that very few athletes are able to attain. Even though he's typically taller than his sprinting rivals, what Kerley is able to do so well is reach a very impressive top-end speed and then hold this speed at a very high level all the way to the finish line. Back in the 2021 Olympics, Kerley's final 25 meters was the polar opposite as to what everyone else in this field was able to do, as he somehow accelerated over the closing stage, as everyone else's speed dropped pretty significantly. This 100-meter graph broke all logic when it comes to sprinting, and it almost seemed like this might be a mistake. But then it happened again, this time in Rome in 2022, when Kerley didn't slow down at all over the final 20 or 30 meters. If we take a look back at this 100-meter replay, we can see that each athlete has a speed measuring tool next to their name, representing either slowing down or speeding up. And at the very, very end of this race, Kerley was the only athlete to stay in the green, which meant that his speed maintenance at the very end of this race was far greater than anyone else's. Perhaps it's the fact that Kerley mostly focused on the 400 meters in the past, or maybe he was always this kind of runner and just didn't know it yet. But at the end of the day, his strength abilities in the 100 meters are undeniable, and it clearly makes him almost unbeatable when he's performing at his best. But the real crazy thing about Fred Kerley is that this is only his second year of competitive 100-meter running, which means that over the next upcoming years, he very well could drop his times even more. In 2022, Kerley has only run 100-meter races under the 10-second barrier. Back on March 26th, he opened his season with a very casual race in 9.99. But since this time, his fitness has only been improving, and these improvements have been absolutely historic. On June 23rd, in the opening rounds of this year's United States Championships, Kerley improved his personal record down to a time of 9.83. But what he managed to do the very next day shook the entire athletics world. On June 24th, Kerley ran a time of 9.76 seconds, now breaking into the top 10 all-time in the men's 100. But then just 1 hour later, he ran another incredible time of 9.77, this time with a much slower start. Along with Asafa Powell back in 2007, Kerley is now one of only 2 sprinters ever to break 9.80 twice in the exact same day. This magnificent double achievement was a big foreshadowing moment to this year's World Finals, and with yet another solid victory, Kerley has proven himself as the world's fastest man in 2022. Moving into the next few days of athletics competition, Kerley is also set to race in the men's 200-meter dash and also in the 4x100-meter relay. And if he can capture the same kind of magic that he just displayed in the 100 meters, well, he could once again make history in these World Championships. Thanks for watching, everyone. And as always, until next time.